Hello there. Thanks for watching my views and news. Three new stories for you. Firstly, are some groups in Tigray supportive of the intervention of federal government in Tigray to control the security situation, to diffuse political tension, to provide better service delivery to the people of Tigray? A clip is in circulation showing a call for federal government's intervention in Tigray. The call was backed by dozens of people there attending that gathering. Secondly, another news story from Tigray where an opposition party has announced to join Tigray Advisory Council, which is now called Tigray Interim Council. Thirdly, the Ethiopian government has taken a U-turn, it seems. Its MOU with Somaliland frozen 2 days ago. Jula and General Adwa of Somalia signed status of force agreement, which is about the operations of Ethiopian military in Somalia. 2 points of this agreement I want to share with you, showing that Ethiopia will have to be very careful now in dealing with Somalia. Let's start, viewers. Let's have a look at this news story first. Ethiopia-Somalia agreement, then Tigray opposition parties joining Tigray Interim Council, and lastly, call for federal government's intervention in Tigray. Jula and Ridwan Hussein, Jula, Ethiopian military chief, and Ridwan, Ethiopian spy chief, went to Mogadishu 2 days ago. They signed status of force agreement SOFA with their Somali counterparts. Through this agreement, Ethiopian military, continued military presence in Somalia has been confirmed. 2 points of this agreement are interesting. Firstly, one point clearly says that Ethiopia respects Somalia's sovereignty and territorial integrity. When Ethiopia says that, it means that it won't be able to recognize Somaliland as a country. If you remember, when Ethiopia and Somalia signed Ankara Declaration in December last year, PM Abiy objected to the inclusion of this phrase in the final agreement. Respect for Somalia's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Agreement was delayed for several hours, but Somalia was adamant that it must be included in the final agreement. Ultimately, Ethiopian PM Abiy had to agree to it. Now, it is mentioned in the status of force agreement as well that Ethiopia respects Somalia's sovereignty and territorial integrity. It means that Ethiopia-Somaliland MOU has been completely discarded. And we might see little tension too between Ethiopia and Somaliland. Basically, Ethiopian government threw Musavi Abdi under the bus. Musavi Abdi lost election, and one of the reasons behind his defeat was the non-implementation of MOU with Somaliland, between Somaliland and Ethiopia. That MOU led to increased pressure on Somaliland by Somalia. Ethiopia only issued statement, it made no progress, and Musavi Abdi was weakened politically and he lost election. One of the reasons, it's not that it was the sole reason, but it is one of the reasons behind his defeat. Second point, which is very interesting, of the status of force agreement, is that federal government of Somalia will be the only entry point for any relations between Ethiopia and Somalia. This point is very interesting. It means that Ethiopia won't conclude any agreements with regional governments without approval from the federal government of Somalia. It will not enter into any agreements with Portland, with Jubaland, with Southwest, etc. Even Somaliland too, without approval from the federal government of Somalia. So Ethiopia intervened in Jubaland. It supported Madobe in his re-election. Without approval from the federal government of Somalia, Ethiopia intervened. Its military helped Madobe in re-election. Federal government could not stop Madobe's indirect election. Ethiopia helped Madobe. In fact, Ethiopia did not allow Somalia's federal forces to enter Gaidu. So Ethiopian military helped Madobe a lot. But under the new agreement, Ethiopia won't be able to sign any agreements with the regional governments, regional states of Somalia without taking Mogadishu on board. Let's see, will Ethiopia honor this agreement? Will it respect the status of force agreement or not? Secondly, Tigrayan opposition party has announced to join Interim, a council established a few days ago. Tigray President Getachew Reda's government has established Tigray Advisory Council. It was renamed, I think, Tigray Interim Council. It consists of ruling party, TPLF, military, civil society, elders, opposition parties. It will work in the place of Tigray Regional Council, which was disbanded after Pretoria. Election was held in Tigray in 2020, but election was declared null and void by Ethiopian parliament. And then in Pretoria deal, TPLF agreed to the declaration of election held in Tigray null and void by Ethiopian parliament. There is no functioning regional council in Tigray. Getachew government has formed interim council, which is being opposed by TPLF Debrecen group. Getachew, Sadkan are supportive of this idea. This interim council, how will it work while it is being boycotted by TPLF? Will it have only legislative powers, executive powers as well? Not clear. It's difficult for it to function because Tigray government lacks authority in most parts of Tigray. Salsay Weyane has joined Tigray Interim Council. It wasn't part of it, but 48 hours ago, Salsay Weyane announced to join Interim Council. But without TPLF Debrecen's participation in Interim Council, it won't be able to be a representative body to perform in a manner which is acceptable to the majority of Tigray. I don't think military is part of it as well. If military and the Bratzian wing boycott interim council, it will have no real value, I think. Last viewers, call for intervention in Tigray. Call for federal government to intervene in Tigray. The call was made at a gathering in Mekelle. In Mekelle, three days ago, residents of Saharti Samre Wareda were invited. The same Wareda where a clash erupted between Tigray military and Saharti Samra Wareda after military tried to disband a local station there, propped up by Getachew government. Military disbanded the administration. It seized the official seal too. But there was confrontation between military and people there. Military opened fire. Several people were injured. They then demanded the removal of federal forces from the area. Then we saw that Saharthi Samre, one of the residents, were invited to Mekelle for discussions. Getachew Reda, Tadesse, where they talked to the residents of Saad the Samre Warda, where they promised to investigate the matter and hold the people accountable involved in opening of fire at civilians. But after that, Tigray Peace and Security Bureau issued a statement defending the action taken by military in Saad the Samre, saying that it was at the request of the people of the war that the military went there, and people there, they actually attacked the military. So nothing has been done in terms of holding people accountable. When Saad the Samre war, the people came to Makale and they held talks with Getachew and Warade and raised questions. One participant called for intervention of federal government in Sahar the Samre to investigate the matter. And when that participant made this call, others in attendance clapped. They applauded the suggestion. They supported it. But Getachew then diverted the attention. He diverted the topic and he asked the man to share his question, to ask the question and share his problem. So there are people, especially pro-Getachew in Tigray, who as a last resort could call for the intervention of federal government in Tigray. I have a clip of this man for you. You can see that people in attendance are applauding this man for raising the issue of intervention of federal government in South Samre to investigate the excesses committed by military there. Watch the clip. Thanks for watching.
لكأت تخوين بجزياو من قصي بجزياو من حدار سرعة ذي يتعالينا ذوهم ذي قبل لهم نيسي عقل حضركم تخوين ولا ما خلاي من قصيتو يتو يفتشنا سلازي ما خلاي من قصي هاجر أمرات
أفتا شجر ما تخرج نبر هذه ناوي أنا مخنات هالشجر راح
الرأي أفتن شجر يا
أنا تحاول اللي شجر فترة لنا هذه سيرهم تب فايتين قبل لا وعنا
تنسى كنا تنسى أول دانا